Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
You can see the original Einstein comment here. We've been just finishing up this Euro JPY sequence and getting out of it. But as you can see, you know, it's been a brutal one, but everything else has been trading, starting to make money. I'm currently on this account running the skip a level strategy. And as always, just so I can touch on this, if you're new to our intraday calls, intraday is meant to be used as a second strategy to your precision modes. If you only have one GearBox account, I would only be using swing, sniper, or super sniper modes. Yes, they don't take a lot of trades, but yes, when they trade very well and they do very great. Now, if you're here and you're learning about intraday modes, this is to be used as a second GearBox license alongside your precision modes to give you some more action. Now, with the skip a level mode, as you can see, I'm simply running these 6 currency pairs here. We have the Euro US dollar, Euro JPY, NZD CHF, USD CAD, CAD CHF, and AUD NZD. Now I'm only allowing 3 pairs to trade at a single time. So my max pair setting is set to 3, right? And we can see that right here. And if we look here, we can also see that there are only 3 pairs with trades open: Euro JPY, Euro USD, and NZD CHF. But I'm running those. And again, that's how you would run skip a level. As for instant entry, you would eliminate 3 of these, as you would only want to be running 3 pairs on instant entry. And again, if you have less than $3,000, you would actually use less pairs. So if you only had 1,000, you'd use 1 pair. If you had 2,000, you use 2 pairs. If you had 3,000, you could use all 3 pairs. And same concept goes for skip a level. Smaller balances below 1K only allow 1 to 2 max pairs to trade at a single time. $500 balance, only 1 max pair trading at a single time. And again, the intraday strategy is going to get you in and out of trades more. It's going to take more trades. You're going to see more action because it's not waiting for as precise of an entry. So if we go back to our great old GearBox manager, list here and where we enter different trades, you can see the precision mode. Swing enters on 2, the sniper on 3 on some, super on 4, and it kind of bumps up depending on the pairs now volatile they are, such as like GBP pairs where a super sniper is not even entering until a gear 8 trade, on some of them, which is pretty incredible. Now, when we're using intraday modes, remember, we're entering at the beginning of this trend. We're entering down here, right? And this is why we're also using a much smaller lot size in the intraday mode. You see 0.01 per 3,000, right? In precision modes, you sometimes can bump that lot size up, right? You can go 0.01 per 2K, and even on if you have a little more tolerance in you for some drawdown every once in a while, you could even go 0.01 per 1K. Anything higher than that, I would just absolutely not do. I would rather increase my max pairs than increase my lot size, but that's just me. Now, in understanding all of that, again, remember, instant entry, you're entering on gear 0. Skip a level, you're entering in gear 1. So if any of these pairs do trend hard, which they can, right? We're looking at Euro JPY has gear 8 trades open, right? Well, you could be stuck in all that drawdown, right? You could have hit stop losses. You could have been stuck in it all. And that's going to happen every once in a while with intraday mode, purely because you are getting in the trades earlier. But again, you also have the possibility to make more money, get more active trades in the consolidated markets. And that's what people like about intraday mode is in consolidated markets, it can perform very well, but you also always are going to stay in drawdown. One thing about understanding intraday modes is they're going to make profit, but they're always going to be in drawdown. Like right now, I'm in $900 drawdown. When this swings, I'll get out of drawdown for a few days. It'll go right back in it. And that's kind of intraday mode. It's like a Ferris wheel. It's constantly getting in trades. So it's going to stay in a solid floating drawdown, nothing high, right? It's not going to get into crazy high drawdown, but it is going to get into some drawdown and it's going to hold it for a little while it swings. Now, again, it's not high, right? Right now I'm in 10% drawdown. That's pretty normal, I'd say, for intraday modes. Most of the time you're going to float between 5 and 10% on an account. If you have a smaller account, maybe even, 10 and 15, because again, you're getting in the trade sooner. So if something goes against you, obviously you got to be able to have the equity. And right now the market is definitely in a more trendy mode. And I'm going to pull up something real quick so we can talk about these pairs. Actually, here, let me share my screen. Or this right here is my swing account, my 10K that's crushing it. But I want to show you guys my tool here that we're always using here. And let's talk about the market. Let's talk about the pairs and using the market profiler. And when taking a look at the market profiler, you can see that Euro CHF is consolidated. You can see random. What does random mean? Random means we don't know. Is it going to break out in a trend or is it going to stay consolidated? There's a lot of things that are keeping us from calling it consolidated. Biased is a little more on the side of, it's going to either trend or not trend, right? It's very biased. Random is just random. And then trend is things are fully trending. So when you take a look at this, you can see Euro CHF, great consolidation this week, right? GBP NZD super random, NZD CHF's random, which we're in some of those pairs. We're trading some of them. Euro USD is random. It's been random. I'm waiting for a large pullback on Euro USD personally myself. And you can take a look at a lot of that. And this just kind of helps me make determinations on how I manage my risk sometimes. I take a look at this tool, and I really only use this tool when I refer to intraday modes, because when I'm using, precision modes, I just trust that precision's doing what it needs to do. I know what it's doing. I know how it's working. But when it comes to, the intraday modes, I like to have a little more data in my decision making, just because you guys have more risk. Like, for example, one of the things you could also do is, let's say we went and looked at the news for the next week, right? We went over to say Forex Factory, and let's just refresh this. And I'm going to show you the kind of things you can do with intraday mode to, or even instant entry or skip a level, to really just keep yourself protected in different situations. So we're going to take a look at the news and see what news is even going to affect us this week, right? So if we look at AUD, we don't really play with AUD too much, right? It's not really in our modes here. We have AUD and ZD though. So we do have one of them. We'll keep looking. You'll see we have some NZD. Well, we definitely have NZD and we have AUD NZD. So here's two red folders that are directly probably going to affect each other in some way. And we have GBP. Now, GBP, we do not use in intraday modes. GBP are great in precision modes. Now, what I can tell you about this for next week with precision modes, GBP pairs are probably going to hit, and they're going to get some good trades. CAD, we run CAD. So, we see that CAD and USD, we got NFP this week. This is a big volatile week. Now, running intraday mode, personally, if I was using intraday mode and I knew NFP was coming up, I would most likely look to practice a strategy I'm going to teach you guys right now. So let's just say, for example, NZD CHF. I can go here and hit pause on this, no new trends. It's still going to take new trades, but it's not, if once this trade setup completes, it's not going to ever take an NZD CHF trade again. Knowing there's red folders there, I just kind of want to get out of this drawdown. I don't want to get in any more NZD CHF trades when this one closes. Why? Because we got NFP and at the end of the week, we have NZD events, we have AUD stuff. Same with AUD, NZD. Now, I'm not in any AUD, NZD trades, but maybe in skip a level, I want to avoid them because you can see it could enter them right now. It's saying, hey, I could enter both directions if one of these pairs closed. So I may just say, yeah, I don't even want to open a AUD, NZD trade this week, knowing that we got a lot of red folder news for intraday modes. Now, red folder news is great for precision modes, but when it comes to your intraday modes, you typically want to avoid some of that. And same with USD and CAD, right? We had some USD events. So I'm just going to go ahead and say here, yeah, it could be entering trades, but I'm just going to pause them. I don't even want to get into them. So what this is going to do is it's going to prevent these from opening any new trades if they trigger. And it's going to only allow NZD CHF to complete new trades to finish this existing sequence that's open, meaning that, if it needs to take new trades to finish these buys or sells, it will, but it's not going to take any more. And that's how I'd handle it. Even Euro USD, there's a lot of news coming this week. I'm also in some Euro USD stuff. I'm going to go ahead and just pause it. I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, get me out of here and then let it run. Euro JPY, on the other hand, I'm just going to let it keep doing its thing. That one's open from, a previous software, and GearBox is managing it now. I'm just not going to mess with it. But the point in showing you guys there's a little bit more management, I would say, to intraday in times like this to be smart and practice risk management. Whereas with your precision modes, you can kind of sit back more. You're not really typically pausing new trends. You're not using some of those extra features because you know that it's just really waiting for those precise entries where, you know, if we take a look at the calculator, we know, hey, let's take a look here. If we take a look at the calculator, all right, you can see that we're entering what GBP NZD sniper on gear 6 or even gear 7 and gear 6 on swing. Well, if you come over here, you understand that's 300 pips with no retracement before we take a trade, or 426 pips with no retracement before we take a trade, or even super sniper waiting 600 pips with no retracement before you take a trade. Now, I mean, if you understand the way some of these pairs move, that mathematically you're going to catch a reversal and you're going to be able to withstand the grunt if it continues to go even further. And that was really the design behind the precision modes, is to be able to enter later in the trend to catch it right before the reversal. Whereas intraday, we're really looking to play the consolidation. But as you saw looking at my little tool right now, you know, that we were just looking at, right now, the market's really random and biased, you know, and some things are trending, right? You know, nothing we're trading right now. Maybe NZD CAD is on our list, is it? No, it's not. Good. I was going to say. But you can see most of the pairs we're trading right now are biased or random, right? And that tells you that the markets are a little weird right now because intraday mode does the best in consolidated market conditions. And if you don't understand what consolidated market conditions mean, it's essentially when the market's just, you know, kind of chopping around, right? We have some other products in our marketplace that they specialize in only trading one currency pair and they make their money in consolidation. It's a great strategy because you can always make money in consolidation if you have proper lot sizes and you have proper risk management. But if something trends against you, again, you know, it's always a bad day. Whereas with intraday mode, you can withstand it. And with precision modes, you can really withstand something trending against you. And, you know, this calculator continues to prove that. Now, let's say you were running intraday mode with the proper lot sizes. We're going to go to skip 0. Let's say you're on skip a level. All right, you can see that you would not even get into 22% drawdown until these pairs went 833 pips against you, one pair. So in order for you to get in 66% drawdown, all three currency pairs in intraday mode would need to go 833 pips against you at the same time. I mean, it's just highly unlikely with the proper risk management, right? So we really use a much lower lot size in intraday mode than precision to decrease our risk since we're entering the trend sooner. Whereas, you know, a lot of people in, say, precision are running, you know, a 0.01 per thousand, same concept. And that was on a $10,000 account. Now, if we go over to a more small account, same concept here. You can't really, on a $1,000 account, have a lot size of 0.01 per 3K. So you'd only run one pair. But in order for that one pair to toast you, okay, same concept, the market needs to go 601 pips against you. So any of these 6 currency pairs, if you had if you were using a skip a level, technically you'd be running 2 pairs, possibly in 1,000 at once. So actually we'd look more around 430. So if 2 of these pairs went 430 pips against you at the same exact time, you know, that would be you blowing an account on a $1,000 account with skip a level. Whereas if you were using instant entry, again, you'd only be trading one pair. It would still take 600 pips from Euro USD or Euro JPY with no retracement. And can that happen? Absolutely. The point in telling you that is that's why we've built all these extra risk management features into GearBox to also prevent things like that from happening, such as your balance protection mode, where if you ever get into, you know, 25% drawdown, it's automatically going to stop taking any new trades. So at 25% drawdown, we're not going to put another lot in the market. We're not going to take another trade. I call this chill out mode. It's just going to stop, chill, wait, and watch the market. Wait for it to, you know, make its decisions before it puts any more risk into the market or puts any more cost averaging techniques in. It's just going to go ahead and chill out, which is very, very powerful feature, which really also helps because we don't take that into account on this calculator, that if at 25% drawdown, you don't enter another trade, how many pips can you actually withstand? Because now you're not entering these next trades and putting that extra risk in there. Now, let's see. I want to get into some Q&A. I see the chat's been super quiet. I've just been kind of going on my educational spiel on intraday mode so far. So if anyone has any questions so far, go ahead and throw them in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to get right back into the news and just kind of talk about, a little bit again, how I'm managing my accounts this week. We talked about it a little, but we'll briefly go back over it. And like I said, with intraday modes this week, I'm using my skip a level. I've paused new trends on these pairs. I don't want to get any trades on AUD, NZD, NZD CHF, or USD CAD due to the news events coming up this week. It looks like a volatile week. I do recommend the daily time frame. You'll probably see half of these are an hour and some are on daily. That's just me playing around. But I would definitely use the daily, especially on intraday modes. Intraday modes, if you're not using the daily, you're more likely to play both sides of the market, and that can be a riskier decision. Where you constantly are in drawdown and it operates more like a Ferris wheel. If you don't want to be in as much drawdown all the time, daily is going to be the better time frame to always use. It's going to be the most accurate, right? The higher the time frame, so hour one is going to be more risky. Hour four risky. Daily is going to be your more accurate reading, always on the market. Awesome. Mackenzie said she is not using intraday yet, doing sniper, but she came to get educated. So when she has her second GearBox license, she can play with intraday. And yeah, I mean, like I said, intraday's, it's a cool strategy. It's fun. It gives you more trades, right? You get into more, trades, and when it makes profit, it makes great profit. But at the same time, really the precision modes are what make GearBox so special. And I'm always going to tell you that every intraday call. I'm going to tell you why I love precision modes, because the precision modes are what I designed GearBox to be, right? I designed GearBox for these things right here. Now, intraday modes, I designed these because I knew that there's going to be times where the market's super consolidated, where there's times that sniper and swing might not even take a trade one week. And, sometimes people psychologically, if they don't see a trade, they freak out. And instant entry and skip a level really allows them to see it works, get them some action, get them in the game. So that they can develop some more discipline and patience maybe, or just have a second license so that they get into the action. But with that being said, let's just go back through a brief run through of the market for the next week. And as you can see, we have NFP coming up this week. That's always big. We have CAD announcing unemployment as well, GBP, tons of red folder events. So that's going to be great for precision modes. I'm actually very much looking forward to these because I have one GearBox only running GBP pairs, and I have a feeling that's going to be great this week. NZD, same thing. Everyone's kind of announcing their unemployment and employment changes. So you can expect some volatility in the market, expect some movement, some pips to be, to happen in the market in different movements. And hopefully you're on the winning side of those, right? But that's what the next week's looking like. So be conservative. Understand I'm going to be extra conservative this week in precision and, intraday mode. Like I said, in intraday mode, there's some pairs I'm pausing new trends on. In precision, I'm going to stick to 0.01 per 2K, and intraday mode 0.01 per 3K. And if you're using a smaller balance than $3,000 and using intraday mode, if you're on skip a level, I'd even maybe on $1,000 go to one max pair trading at a single time, based on the volatility that's occurring, to make sure you have the equity to withstand a move against you if it does occur. But with that being said, if anyone has any last questions, let me know. Otherwise, I appreciate every single one of you tuning into this call as always. And I look forward to seeing you hopefully tomorrow on the precision call, as I'd imagine every single one of you is using precision modes. And with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow.